Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We are the No Cell Nation podcast. This is our inaugural episode, and I am Perpetual Heel Turn. We are just a group of guys from New Jersey who wanted to get together and talk about wrestling. It's a love, it's a passion for all of us, and we are going to discuss the road to WrestleMania in this episode, and we will be back the week after WrestleMania to discuss, Raw after Mania and stuff like that. We will most likely be doing little games here and there with members of the show. But for right now, we are in between recordings. And please enjoy our first episode. Thank you.
We are very excited to be here. Very stoked to bring our wrestling takes into this giant world of wrestling
No
echo
matter how
chambers.
hot they may be.
However hot they may be. We are less than a week away from WrestleMania. We are recording this on Monday, the 14th, and WrestleMania Night 1 is Saturday, so we're 5 days away.
Easter.
So we got a lot of things to talk about. Might want to introduce yourselves, guys. I'm Mike.
Yeah, your name says it on your.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Either way,
It's a learning experience. Well, you, I was gonna say you have your work name.
The best part is I was gonna change it to Bones no matter what he joined as. So,
I mean, my name's Jimmy. I'm just gonna go by Loot. You call me Jimmy. I don't give a fuck what I go by in this fucking thing.
James, Jimothy.
Yeah, whatever. You're gonna hear
John.
me called 8 different names. So what does it matter what I tell you my name is?
Yeah.
So really, we only need to go through your 3 names because me and Brandon have our real names up there. So perpetual
Government
Mike goes by Llama.
IDs.
We're gonna call him Llama.
Yeah,
Llama
they're gonna
and
call
Paul.
me Llama. Perpetual heel turn is none other than
they're just
Ryan
gonna call
Weiss.
me Weiss the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bones is Johnny D'Angelo, but we will call him Bones.
yo.
Johnny.
As we stated, Loot Bob is Jim, but we're gonna call him literally every possible name. You could think.
It has nothing to do with Jim.
Mostly Jom or Jimbo,
Yep.
but
We got Ryan zoomed in too close to my face because I
Bro,
couldn't
it's
set up a
3.5
backdrop.
It's 3.5 feet away from me. There's nothing I can do about it.
this is a learning experience, though.
It's down your throat.
We're gonna
It's quite literally in my face.
We're gonna do this weekly. We've never done it, and we're gonna bring these scalding hot takes to the world, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I know we're recording this before Raw on 4/14, but so with no knowledge of what's happening tonight, let's talk about this women's 3-way.
Chris Benoit did nothing wrong.
That's crazy. See that?
Oh my
Great
God.
start. Great start.
Give me that bang
We're
all
not-
day.
I've been waiting.
I know he has.
I was
We're
waiting
never
on that
getting
one.
monetized.
It's already right on the
No,
cutting
it's
room
fine.
floor.
It's gonna get buried way deep in the archives. No worries.
That's getting cut in post.
Okay. Of our 17 viewers, only 14 will care. It's fine. All right. Seriously though, this I can't believe you said that. This women 3-way. Fucking Rhea, Io, and Bianca.
You mean Rhea versus Bianca and Io just randomly jumping in every now and then and
Bro,
being
she is the
thrown out of the
champion.
ring?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
again.
put some respect on the champion's
I'm
name,
not
please.
disrespecting the champion. What I'm saying is this match is going to be a Rhea versus Bianca with Io randomly inserting herself into the match itself. I do not think Io is going to get a fair shot to shoot her shit in this match because everybody has been looking forward to Bianca and Rhea at Mania because everybody loves these two. And there's so much hype right now behind the two of them with the Naomi fallout and the Jade fallout. They did that so they could get Rhea and Bianca. It just happened that Io had the title at the time.
No, they
so
put
they had
the
to
title
include
on
her.
Io right.
I don't
when
like
this
how
was
you pronounce her
starting,
name,
though.
by the way.
But that's what what is it supposed to be?
Rhea.
Rhea, whatever.
It
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
I mean,
Miss Ripley,
There you go.
beautiful butt cheeks, whatever we want to call her. I don't care.
there was a
I
lot.
hope she sees this one day. That would be my making it moment.
She won't. I agree with you, Jim, in a sense where, like, I do think this feud was kind of, it was this almost aura farming process for Rhea and Bianca and Io. I think Io's great at what she does.
I like the way you put that.
I just think, I just think it's been like this aura farming contest between Rhea and Bianca. And, Io has shown up out of nowhere, with a drop kick or whatever it may be. I don't think it's going to be like that in the match like you do, per se. I think it's going to be.
I think that's
I
what
think it's
they're
going to be a
saying.
solid. I do think it's going to be a solid match because I love Io's style.
Mhm.
But I do think the buildup has been kind of like, hey, Rhea versus Bianca, and oh yeah, and Sky, which
And the
sucks.
champion, yeah.
Right, she's the champ, so
Well, see,
it
I
sucks.
think they're using those segments to try to point that out to you. Like they
Mhm.
that's what they want you to do because they're fucking pie facing her. And then she's getting mad and she's like bowing up and she's like, I'm the fucking champ right now. Stop
Mhm.
disrespecting me. So I think the match is gonna tell that same story. I don't necessarily think that means she comes out on top, but I do think the match is gonna sort of tell that same story that the promos have been subliminally saying.
I think in the end, what you just said will solidify why she wins the title. This whole story buildup has been stop disrespecting me, stop counting me out.
Mhm.
I am the current champion.
So you think
I
Io
am Io Sky.
retains?
I think Io retains,
Yeah.
but I still think Io retains in a sense where it's like you said, in a sense of what I said, but also what you said, where I think she's going to be less involved in the match, but I think she's going to be less involved because they brush her off. Like maybe she gets tossed out once and then they kind of just ignore her for a second. And then she comes in and she does her thing for 10, 15 minutes where she's showing her shit and she does the EO that we love. Because, like Lama said, I love her wrestling style.
Mhm.
I am a fan of Bianca. I'm not a fan of her wrestling style because I think Bianca is more of a strong man in the woman category. I think she uses less flashy and flair, and I think her and Jade are like literal twins of each other. I think Bianca does have a little bit more flair to her style,
She's
but
just more seasoned on that stage,
yes,
really.
yes, exactly. And I think that Rhea has that kind of in between where she is the strong woman, but she tries to do some kind of interesting thing every now and then. But I really think they're going to focus on how talented Io is, but in a smaller amount of time than we're expecting. I don't think Io will get her 15, 20 minutes of fame. I think it's going to be a 5-10 minute showcase at the end where she has her Hulk Hogan rally moment where she's like, you guys can't disrespect me. She kicks the shit out of everybody and then she ends up winning. But I don't know where that plays out or how.
I think she retains too.
Bob,
Yeah.
Johnny,
Yeah.
Edward?
I think she retains, and it's probably going to be it's Rhea or Bianca are costing the title some way,
Yeah, I,
and
I
then it
was going to
sets
say
up.
the same thing, Paul.
Yeah, exactly, and then it sets up for their singles match, probably at like SummerSlam or something.
Yeah, Paul
And
just stole what I was actually going to say.
So you
I
think Io retains as well?
I
Yeah.
think Io retains just for the same reason. It's gonna be the main feud of Bianca and Rhea going at it. Then Io's gonna steal it at the end because they're probably gonna forget that they're probably gonna do something. I'm gonna make my prediction. For some reason, Io's gonna get hurt like that, like those fake injuries in like the middle of the
Yeah,
match,
yep.
and
It's a work, brother.
then you just forget about her. Then out of nowhere, she just comes back and steals the pin and takes the victory. Then Bianca and Rhea, instead of like being mad at like Io, they're just gonna argue with each other.
Dude,
They
that
may
would
not
hurt
even
my
do it at
soul.
SummerSlam. They may just do it at what's the next Backlash? They might just do it then at this point.
Yeah.
I also, and I know this is an extremely
Because I
hot
feel like
take.
their feud. One second, I feel like
No,
their
go ahead.
feud isn't gonna like feed families. I feel like the feud they want is like the Bianca and Naomi and who else can I?
Jade?
Jade.
Jade,
Yeah.
yeah. Like they're
And
gonna do that at SummerSlam. I feel like something like that.
and this is where my hot take comes in. I truthfully think that this three-way is when we're going to get, and hear me out, Io's the only one without a quote-unquote rivalry, realistically,
Does Asuka
outside.
return?
I mean, Asuka could return,
I think
but
so.
but my
Or
thought
Kyrie.
also, but my thought also being is you still have Jade and Naomi. That's night one going into night two where this match is, right? So what if one of them comes back and interferes because it's like, oh, you didn't care about either of us after, We did all this stuff together. We were both tag team champs together, and now you just wrote us off and you're going to fight for the world championship.
Yeah, it's so
Then
weird
you
how they
have
just let her win the chamber and then
exactly. So it's
disregard
like,
the whole story.
do you
Mhm.
really just like maybe either one of them gets angry and comes back, or maybe even both of them after their match they hug and make up, and then they're like, Bianca's the one we should be pissed off at. Like, we're fighting and she's fighting for the championship. Like, she's turning us against each other. And then
I
there's also
like that actually.
there's
Yeah.
also Liv in Chelsea.
Yeah.
We forget that Liv and Chelsea have big beef with fucking Rhea. They're gonna get involved, I think. I don't think there's so
Liv
many
and
big
Raquel?
characters.
Liv and
Liv and
Raquel, you mean?
Raquel. I said Chelsea. Sorry. Oh my
You're
god.
good.
Brain fart.
Chelsea
I
is
was
great.
trying to
But
connect that
Chelsea
to
is great.
Rhea Ripley.
sorry,
I was
brain
like,
brain
when?
fart. Liv and Raquel. But
Yeah.
my point being is there's so many big names that we don't see having matches at WrestleMania right now that this match in the women's category would be the best time to bring all those names in where it would make sense. I don't see any other match that's a women's match right now making sense to make any of these other women who are big on the roster relevant right now. And you could start 3 feuds out of that 3-way if you involve 2 of the people who are, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
so
Yeah.
I think that's where it leans. But again, that's
Okay.
in a perfect world where, everything we want as fans is written correctly, and you never know. They might be long-term storytelling, and we might get that, like you said, at SummerSlam or Backlash, one of these up-and-coming things. But I would prefer to have that at WrestleMania, and then have the night after Mania, and then the SmackDown after Mania kind of build on that, give us a little bit more information, and let us know what the fuck just happened. So, but yeah.
I personally would pay top dollar to not see Liv versus Rhea again. I'm
I
Sure.
yeah. What's the pay per view where that's not on? I'll
See-
buy that one.
See, when I think Liv and Raquel and Rhea, I think more or less Raquel getting sick of Liv and finally turning on Liv to get her shot against Rhea in the big picture, or maybe even a 3-way out of those two, where it's those 3.
I think she's getting better in the ring, but I can't stand Liv Morgan.
I love her. And maybe it's just because I'm literally physically in love with her every time I look at her.
God.
I'm not kidding. No, it's like something. Maybe it's my childhood and like the girls I was in love with as a child, but it's like something about Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss. Maybe it's just the little blonde girls. That's why I'm marrying one. It's just the look they give into the camera sometimes. It's just like you could wrestle like shit and I would watch you for hours on TV. It's that tantalizing to me. I hate to be that guy, but
I guess
you got to think there's a lot of fans out there who might think that way. Like,
Oh,
I mean, if we're being honest though, I'm more in the normal category. If we're thinking about a bunch of weirdo wrestling, kindly fuck off. But you get my point. It's like I'm more
I
in the
understand.
normal, in the sanity column. So it's like if you're thinking about weirdos, it's like you know why those blonde girls are making
Yeah.
it, even if they're bad wrestlers.
You know what's crazy? Once we actually got to chopping it up, there was a lot more to talk about in that matchup than I expected before we started.
Mhm.
That being said, we're moving on.
Jim's getting canceled. That's all I know.
Yeah, Jim's down there.
All
getting
these
canceled.
times that he's just bending his
Oh.
head down and getting cut.
The main event 3-way. I guess we can use the favor. We can tie the favor into this too if you want, instead of kind of transitioning into it later. I say this time around, Ball. You give me your opinions on what's happened so far, what we've seen, the build, and what you think happens.
I like the build now. Initially, it was just like, oh, it's Punk versus whoever. At this point, I think it was just going to be Seth, not even, maybe even Roman, just Punk and Roman straight up. But after the Rumble, when Seth took them both out, I'm like, oh, that lays the seeds right there. So I think doing that made sense. In terms of the favor, I get it, but like, not really, because he also betrayed him. So I don't know how that's his best friend, but to have him in his corner, it makes sense to just piss Roman off even more.
Yeah.
And in terms of outcome, I think that Punk does take it, but it's going to be because Seth and Roman just can't get over themselves like how they did it last year. How Roman had the title won, but you just turned and looked at Seth and he's like, I hate this guy so much. I can't even think of retaining my title right now. I just want to murder him.
But Seth, I feel like Seth doesn't hate Roman the way Roman hates him.
True.
And I feel like not like 1-to-1, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like the hatred that Seth has for Punk goes way deeper
Mm-hmm.
than his beef with Roman, because the Punk thing, like, it's been established that like they actually don't like each other backstage. Like
Yeah.
they genuinely don't like each other, or at least didn't for the longest time. Now they're
Mhm.
civil doing business. So I genuinely, there's that weird like triangular motion of the hatred,
Yeah.
going around between them, and I think Paul Heyman's what's going to decide this match,
Yeah.
and I don't I genuinely I can't call it either way.
Mhm.
I am going to start my conspiracy early. I want to readdress this when we get to The Rock
Oh,
and
he's getting
Cody
canceled.
and
I'm
Cena.
I'm mandating that you get a tinfoil hat whenever you.
Oh, 100%. I'll wear a tinfoil hat
Just
when we
like
when we. I promise you,
I
I'll
already know
get a
what's gonna
tinfoil
happen.
hat to wear during this recording from now on. I promise you.
Good.
But I want to start this conspiracy theory, and I know it's a stretch right now, but The Rock at one point in time recently had hit a bunch of trademarks. One of the trademarks that he just recently has acquired, quote unquote, Team Corporate.
That
The
I
name
did not
Team
know.
Corporate.
That I didn't know either.
The name Team Corporate.
War games.
Here we go. Hear me out. Hear me out. Team Corporate. I'm thinking, The Rock. That's Team Corporate, right? Who is the only viable person that could be smart and helpful enough to help a neighboring group like that? I think it's going to be Team Corporate and some sort of variation of Team Heyman's
Eddie
guys.
Long?
No, I think it's going to be Team Heyman's guys. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see Punk and Roman almost.
No, I don't think.
And Brock comes back. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Punk and Roman are going to end up making amends once. I think Rollins goes Team Corporate. I think Rollins wins because of either the Samoans, some sort of interference is going to occur.
That's the thing.
from
Punk and
The Rock.
Rollins, Punk and Roman can kind of reconcile, but Seth and Roman can't, and Seth and CM Punk can't.
And that's where I think they separate into. I think Rollins is going Team Corporate, and that's why I think he'll win the match due to some sort of Rock interference. And that's when the following Monday you'll see Roman and Punk finally put their hatred for each other. Like, look, we'll see each other one day, but we need to handle Seth Rollins
Just keep the
because
Rock
he
off my
has.
screen.
Because if you think about it, Seth Rollins has ruined Roman and Punk. Realistically, he's. How many times have either of them beat Rollins one-on-one? Once, maybe,
Seth has
if
beat-
that.
I don't
or
think
Punk.
Roman's being Seth because every time he's
They've
Just-
said something about it that no, I don't think Roman's ever beaten him clean one-on-one.
And that,
No.
and then if you look at Rollins and Punk, I don't think Punk's ever beat Rollins clean.
No, he did.
he did the
Uh,
first night.
Yeah,
Day
Yeah.
one.
last year,
They-
no?
Oh, okay.
The Netflix debut.
Okay, well, all right. So there's that one-on-one. But outside of that, it's like realistically, Rollins has been pissing Punk the fuck off. So it's like I could easily see finally us getting rid of this crazy Barney costume Seth Rollins and him finally going back to Team Corporate, Team Me, Team I want to win. And then we get some sort of separation that we'll talk about in the Cody and Cena match later on.
Well,
Okay.
I genuinely think that Seth is going to have a heel turn,
Mm.
and I honestly think if anybody needs to go over in this match, it's got to be Seth.
100%. I think
Like, I
Punk
don't
and
think
Roman
Yeah.
are fine on themselves.
Punk doesn't
yes.
need it. Roman doesn't need
No.
it. Like,
Agreed.
Seth has to go over, and I mean, I've seen a lot of rumors, a lot of theories about him maybe joining forces with Heyman.
Mhm.
But I do know that no matter who it is, no matter what happens, Seth needs a heel turn really bad.
I
Yeah.
just don't like the Heyman theories because Baller Johnny, give me some input on this. Where would Heyman fit in a Rollins story? Like, how do you go from Roman's wise man to the favor for Punk to him joining Rollins because you two
Heyman-
have just been using me?
Heyman can literally just be like, if he wants Seth to do something for him, he can just be like, take my hand, trust me. Your two biggest rivals have success over you, and I'm their source of like success. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, also Seth didn't curb stomp Heyman
Oh yeah,
last week
no,
and said,
don't kill me because I.
right, and he said,
owe
now
you
you
because you didn't kill me.
now you owe
That's
me a
fucking
favor.
dumb,
It's
though.
just
Yeah.
favor mania.
I just
It's
That
favor
was
mania.
dumb.
So that I mean that favor could be that Seth tells Heyman, hey, cost Roman or Punk, which I would think it's probably Punk because he'll be in his corner.
Yeah.
You know, he costs Punk the match, and then maybe Seth and Paul walk out, you know, as a team
I think
with
the
each
match
other.
may suck.
the only
Yeah.
I
Johnny, I
agree,
definitely want to hear from you about this
outside
one.
of storytelling, I agree with you 100%. I think the match itself is going to be absolutely a shit show of a. It's not going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be more theatrics than match.
I think it's going to be
It's
20 again. I think it's literally going to be like 10 minutes of aura farming.
It's a no stip
Yeah.
three-way, bro.
It's gonna be it's gonna be
When
the
have these
first
matches been like fantastic?
yeah. The
were you
first
saying,
8
Johnny?
minutes is gonna be everybody singing Seth Rollins songs, then everybody chanting
Chanting CM
Punk,
Punk,
Yeah.
yeah.
and everybody doing the Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
all that.
Yeah, honestly, the first 5 to 10 minutes we might not see wrestling. It might just be
Yeah.
back and forth.
And then
aura
after that,
farming,
they're
yeah.
gonna start
Rock
going
and
after one
Cena?
another.
Just a lot of
Well, that was
And-
the thing too with this match was I felt like the other variables of this match, like Punk versus Roman or Punk versus Seth,
Mhm.
or even Seth versus Roman, like I all thought they were more interesting than a three-way. Because
Yeah,
like I
they should do
think
Punk
as a
versus
three-way,
Roman.
it just gets like if it was Punk and Roman or Punk and Seth, like I figured I was like, oh, those could be two like hot feuds. I mean, Seth and Punk was already fucking
You know
nuclear.
what? I fucking hate
Mhm.
Seth sometimes. I think he's always in the middle of his shit. Am I wrong?
You know what?
Like,
no.
You're not wrong.
I hate him.
Well,
I'm
you're
so-
no,
I
you're
guess
not
it
wrong
was
with him
good.
being in the middle of shits. But
But, like, I
also,
would rather see a Punk versus Roman for like the favor of like then the favor could have been
Winner gets Heyman.
like a championship
Custody of Paul
opportunity.
Heyman. I
Paul
love it.
Heyman.
Yeah,
I
I
love
guess. Yeah, I don't know.
But-
That's so stupid too, though. But
It
but
is.
my thought is like
it's right.
that's
better.
This whole thing is kind of dumb. They're just like, who are our three biggest guys that are all faces?
it's pretty
And we're
much
gonna-
the winner gets Paul Heyman anyway.
Yeah.
But again,
really
that's why.
is.
But that's why I think it turns more into a Punk and Roman making friends because I
I can
don't
see that. But I see the Rock's not going to come anywhere into this.
It's
I
just
think
I
that's
just
so
don't
dumb.
I know I just don't see Paul Heyman.
Let's call
The
it
only way I
conspiracy
see him
theory.
getting involved, especially with the favor with Seth Rollins, is not costing him the match, but when at one point in time Roman's gonna have a chair, and Roman's gonna see Seth, and Roman's gonna have flashbacks again, and Roman's gonna go strike Seth. I think Paul Heyman sits in the middle and begs him not to hit Seth with the chair. I
can
think
see
that's where the interference makes sense.
Maybe.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
dude, we all see so many theories.
Just you could say
just
that, but don't
browsing.
make that mistake again.
Exactly, and it's like he's kind of saving both Roman and helping Seth with getting his favor off, like by being like, "Don't ruin,
Well, that
don't
would
go
be the
back to that."
final. That would be like that would have to be the final betrayal of Roman in
Mhm.
that moment. Then
You know, it's funny
Roman.
because
Yes,
because
and
he's already semi like betraying him by doing the favors and their favors. You know what I mean?
I saw on when I was browsing Twitter the other day, I saw there was this theory, and obviously it's just a theory now. There's no ground to it, but that we were what the heck was that?
Johnny.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Don't make me get the soundboard, Johnny.
I saw
Maybe send us a video. Send me a video.
so I saw there was a theory of something like that happening, Jimmy, where the team corporate thing plays into Seth turning heel, becoming a corporate guy with The Rock. Now we got Cena in, and down the road at Survivor Series we're getting team corporate versus team like I don't know, Triple H or team I guess WWE kind of thing, you know, Team TKO versus Team WWE.
Yes, but that's also why I keep leaning into the Heyman guys, is because having Punk and Roman sets number 1 and number 2 for that match. All Heyman really needs to do is build
Poor
on
guys.
people he's helped in the past, and there's plenty of fucking guys. Like, don't get me wrong, maybe Brock, because you never know with Brock.
He's never coming back.
Bro, he's never coming back.
Please God, no.
Dude, Vince is getting signed back to fucking creative, or to fucking the board, so you
No,
never
he's
know.
not.
He's getting
No,
signed
he's
back to
not.
something, isn't he?
No,
He's
are you
trying to
talking about
create
the
his
article
own
I sent
thing.
like a week ago?
Yeah.
No,
He's
Jimmy,
trying to-
that article was based on
That was like 2
2023 when
years
he
ago,
came
yeah.
back, and the
Oh,
guy who
okay,
wrote it's a
okay.
moron.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you could have helped me
Never
out with
coming
that.
back.
I just read like the head of the article.
And that's quite a conspiracy theory.
Well, that's but outside of Brock, though, there's plenty of people who Heyman have helped in the WWE that he
Yeah.
could play the card of, like, and there's even younger guys that, like, look, they're great talent. Like, and again, I don't think that they get involved, but I'm just thinking out loud. Think of like guys like Mello who have gotten the shit's end of the stick, and Heyman walks up to him and he's like, "Dude, we can make you that guy
I
in
love that
WWE."
idea.
Like, you know what I mean? Like little
Paul
things
Heyman
like
and
that where
Carmelo Hayes.
there's
Oh,
so many people, and I think didn't LA Knight technically have some sort of connection with Heyman at one point in time?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
wouldn't
not
know
quoting you
that.
on that. I'm not
And
quoting
if
you on that
he
either.
did, and if he doesn't, you could easily set something up with him where it's like,
Dude,
there's so many
I
guys
think-
you could easily give to Paul Heyman to make a Team Heyman kind of thing.
LA
for
Knight
SummerSlam.
is too over of a gimmick, so to speak, that he should not be associated with that at all.
fair enough.
Yeah.
People
Yeah?
want people don't
Okay.
want Paul
Yeah.
Heyman speaking for LA Knight. People want to do the yes and the fucking let me talk
Yeah.
to you.
Oh, there you go. He's about Paul's about to shoot him.
Yeah. I'm
Amazing.
a huge LA Knight guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
how can
I
you
love
not be?
him.
How can you not be?
Fucking Eli Drake. Let's get it, boys. All right. Any final notes on this before we move on?
No.
Bones.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I made
All right. I'm gonna toss this one up to Johnny, and I'm gonna let you open it. You can go first. You can do Tiffany and Charlotte or Jay and Gunther.
I don't even know. I guess Tiffany and as you Tiff and Charlotte
Floor is
first.
yours, my friend.
Can we
What do you
confirm
want to talk
that
about?
night 1 or night 2?
Night 1.
Night one.
Again, there's another one.
think.
I
I
don't
get
know how I
Shaq right
feel
here.
about it. Go
No,
ahead,
no, it's
Johnny.
night. It
Llama's
might
got the
be night
list.
one. It is night one.
It's night 1. Yeah.
Well, I think the whole buildup has been awful. I think
Whole thing?
it's Triple H's fault for thinking fans like
Here we
Charlotte.
go.
I'm not wrong.
Go ahead.
No, I'm
blame
not
Llama,
wrong
too.
because
Oh,
no
go
one,
ahead, go
no
ahead.
one wants Charlotte back. I've seen all the articles that she's not even welcome in like the ladies' locker room. I don't know if that's true, but like no one even likes her. She's not even a good like role model. Like Randy and Cena, they come back as vets. They take losses. They do this. Charlotte's a fucking asshole, being a dick. And why
Yeah.
is she the one running the Royal Rumble? Aren't you supposed to be giving Royal Rumbles to like up and comers? Like Cena didn't even win the fucking Royal Rumble.
I
And this
don't,
is
I
last
don't,
year, and you're giving it back to Charlotte, who hasn't been back in a year.
dude, I don't
a
even
year and a half.
necessarily. I'm sorry, Johnny. Go ahead.
But I'm not wrong. Like, but yeah,
No,
like it's gonna be a good match. Like, of course, Charlotte's a good performer, but she's
Mhm.
gonna get booed out of the whole place.
You think the match
No
is
one
going to be
even
stiff?
wants. No one even wants her there. I can't even imagine that she still sells merchandise that people want her. People like Liv. People
You'd
like
be surprised,
to me,
probably.
Mhm.
I don't
if-
know if she does, man. I
Uh,
think she's just Ric
I don't
Flair's
know.
daughter.
Yeah, I
At
mean,
this point, I
Yeah,
think.
that's what I'm.
to be honest, like I don't even with like what you said with the Rumble thing, like, oh, should it go to an up and comer? Like, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, but it should go to somebody who's like over with the fans or in
Yeah.
storyline, like makes sense. Charlotte is pretty much, I mean, like neither of those things.
Mm.
Like she's not. First off, she has
No,
never.
it's not even. It's not even good heat. It's not.
Yeah.
It's go away heat.
It's go
Just
away
Go away
heat,
heat.
go
which
You're
I
away.
think
right.
Yeah.
Go away
I
heat.
think helps Tiffany because when she wins, she's an even bigger star for beating this person that we want, that we
Yeah.
hate. which I
Absolutely.
Putting
I hope
my
happens.
putting
if you-
That
my
probably took
she's
it
got
away.
to go over.
But if
Yeah.
the crowd didn't do what they did last week and not let and boo
100%.
over Charlotte, they weren't going to do that.
No,
They were going to put
100%.
Charlotte over because the week before that, they set Tiffany up to get fucking bodied on the microphone.
Mhm.
so
I have always. I'm sorry, Jim. Just one more point.
go
here.
ahead. Go ahead.
I've always respected like what Charlotte does in the ring. Like
Mhm.
obviously I respect any of what they do in the ring, but I never was like a huge Charlotte fan. Charlotte in like recently, she has never ever been booed the way she's getting booed right now. Like
Mhm.
she is straight up has that go away heat where it's like, and I guess that's kind of a testament now to like I guess the internet age and smart marks and things like that know how she is backstage, not putting people over. Apparently she's not dressing
Yeah.
with the
Well, there's
wrestlers
also
now.
the other
Like-
two incidents, right, with Becky and Nia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, Nia probably
Who
had it
likes
coming,
her?
but Becky.
Dude, come on.
I'm
But
sorry, I
with
don't
Becky,
like
she
Nia
didn't
Jax.
deserve
I don't
it.
like Nia Jax. That's
So tinfoil hat going on again.
Whoa.
One of two things, in my opinion, are going to occur. One, again, I'm going to feed into my team corporate conspiracy.
This guy won't stop.
I'm not. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to bring it up in almost.
way
I
you're
will,
gonna say Charlotte's gonna be team
bro.
corporate.
I promise you, I'm going to bring it up in almost every match besides Jay and Gunther. I promise you.
Okay.
So,
I
Charlotte.
can't wait to mute
So
you in post.
shut up, Charlotte. Right, Charlotte. Team corporate. The only reason I say this is because you're looking nepo baby go away heat. The Rock is not fucking stupid. As much as we would like to pretend he's a stupid fucking human being, The Rock is not a stupid businessman.
He's not stupid,
No.
but his
And
ego
if
is
you have
crazy.
go away heat, if you have a champion who's a 16, like the John
Yes,
Cena
I mean,
of the
she
women's
would,
division,
whatever you're about to say, he would do to Charlotte, but he wouldn't
Team-
do it to himself if the circumstances were around
but
him.
what I'm saying is she fits into a team corporate vibe if she wins. How did she win? Why did she win? This, that, the. You know why? Because The Rock willed it to be. And The Rock is corporate, and Team Corporate runs this fucking company. That
So you
makes
think, you
sense
think this is
to
going to be
me.
like a huge take?
I think this is going to be the next year worth of shit. I think
Okay.
we're finally going to get The Rock involved after filming and after, like, we're finally going to get Cena back after film. Like, I think Cena and Rock are finally going to do their like, give to this
Okay.
story. Because we've had them so far away from the story that it doesn't make sense, this build to WrestleMania, unless there's a huge aftermath coming. And
We'll
that
get to
makes
that.
sense to me. Like,
Well, Cena has like a we'll talk about the main event later.
Dude, I don't.
but it's like, you know what
I
I mean?
don't think the plan for this was for Charlotte to lose. I don't. I think that's
But-
what's gonna happen now.
But that's
It
why
actually
I
says it.
think it makes
It
so
also
much
says
more
it.
sense for her to win, because we want
Loser.
everybody wants her to lose so badly that the only reason she would win is because The Rock said so. Think about it. Who would want her to win after being
I don't
booed by the
think they
fans
would
like that?
acknowledge. I
I
don't
just-
think they're at the point of acknowledging that they're deciding the finishes yet.
And I don't.
I don't think they're at that point.
Yeah, that's
It's-
complete kayfabe.
But I
bro.
mean,
beyond.
hear me out. You don't have to say he decided the finish. He decided that, oh, Ryan Weiss's favorite wrestler was going to get involved and beat the shit out of Tiffany. Oh my God, it makes sense because it's not like they have heat or anything.
Who's my
I
favorite?
get what you're saying.
Nia Jax.
Oh, right,
I-
right.
I-
Nia
listen-
Jax coming down that ring. I hate to be the guy to play race card. Partially, isn't she like a
She's Samoan.
via fucking
She's her
descendant?
cousin.
Yeah,
She's her
so
cousin.
it makes sense.
This show is never making it to air.
It makes. I'm just, bro. But think about it. Like in
She's
in-
part
That
of
was
the
the least
Samoan- she's
racist
part of the
thing anyone's
Samoan
ever said
dynasty.
after.
No,
I
but
don't
it's
want to
like-
sound racist. What do you
in the-
mean?
But in the Samoan legacy and everything, it's like she is a my Via's whatever
I
fucking
get what you're
descendant. So
saying,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
she could easily be played into. Oh, The Rock told me to.
So you just think they're gonna full lean into nepotism?
Oh, not even nepotism, just yes, nepotism and the Rockism. Like if The Rock has decided you are a champion, you will get what you deserve.
Jim, I think we're all on different wavelengths than you, but we need somebody like you here.
I don't know. And hear me out. This is what I'm saying is like I come up with the scenarios of in a perfect fan world. if we get everything we wanted, where things make sense, we get more story, we're not just leaning into John Cena in WrestleMania for John Cena in WrestleMania. It's like there would be more to this. And I think that, in the long run, do I think it'll happen? 5% at most. But is there that possibility? Yes, 100%.
But you're just putting it out there.
Yes,
just 'cause you like it.
exactly.
Fun.
Like,
okay.
because I want to have that conversation of where people think this is going. Because we've
Right.
talked about it how many times that Johnny has even said, where is this going? Like, we don't know. We don't know where we're building to. We don't know what we're building on.
Isn't that the beauty of it though, essentially?
And that's the fun of being WWE fans,
being a
that we can
wrestling
have
fan.
these conversations
Right,
about this.
because if you were a fan of the other company, it doesn't matter where it's going.
AEW.
Because it doesn't even matter how we got there.
What's that other
Moxley
company,
wins.
Johnny? What is it?
Moxley wins.
Johnny's
No,
our
it's just
local
stupid.
It's where
AEW
the West
fanatic.
wrestle.
If
Johnny
Triple
will be
H-
bringing his AEW segments into this podcast as soon as we're available. I promise.
We will talk. We will talk AEW in the
Not
future.
Triple H
today, yeah,
already
just-
said though he doesn't care about what people say on the internet and the fans. So I can see this bitch ass having Charlotte win the match anyway.
But the
But
thing
if
is,
he
he
does-
does care because
He
he watches.
does.
He
Oh,
reads
he
like
definitely. He's got a
every-
burner. He's
Yeah.
100% got a
if-
burner.
But if Charlotte wins, it'll just be idiotic. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Tiffany has to win. And
No, I agree.
anyway, if Charlotte
Tiffany
does
has to go
lose, she should just go off in the abyss because what does she do after this? I'm not wrong
Yeah.
though.
No.
I will
don't
tell
know
you
what
right
she does.
now.
Bringing
little
Charlotte back to win the Rumble and lose and then do nothing. This is why this story makes no sense for me.
I'm going to say this right now. We were talking about Triple H not. You were talking about Triple H not caring about the IWC and like the Reddit guys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I will tell you this right now. There are 3 people on the top of my mind who I know have burner accounts. Have to have burner accounts. One is Triple H, the other one is Punk, and the other one is Drew. Drew has to have a burner.
100%
That is
has a
the
burner.
worst thing you've ever said about CM Punk.
We
Dude,
are.
I'm telling
we
you,
are
they all got burners.
We are all aware that Cody does have a burner, right?
Tony probably has a burner. They do.
No,
they
no,
probably
Cody, Cody historically had. Cody has his Cody Rhodes account, and then he has another account that used to be his Stardust account that he now uses as his personal burner, which is fucking hysterical because they've apparently found some fucked up shit he said before he was Stardust on this burner account, and it's like coming back to bite him in the ass. But
yeah.
it's like documented that Cody Rhodes does actually have a burner on Twitter, and it's fucking hysterical.
They probably all have burners.
Oh, you have to at that
100%.
point. Like,
yeah,
people say they don't care about what's said about them, but you all know they do.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about with this match? Ball, Llama, you guys didn't really get your monologue.
Well, I think going back to like this storyline, I think in a storyline sense it works because you have the new up and comer hot thing. Everybody loves her against Charlotte, where everybody can't stand her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the storyline itself makes sense. I don't know what that was supposed to be last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Where everybody went off script and it was a shoot, and she's going after Charlotte's marriages. She's over 3-4, and
Bro,
Ludwig Kaiser's in her DMs, and
she dissed her, she wooed, and she ducked out of the ring.
I've never seen Charlotte so like deer in a headlights.
Flustered,
That's
She
just
was
so
flustered,
like.
bro. She was derailed.
Mhm.
That being said, we did say prior, when we were talking prior to this, that if there is going to be, it might be stiff, might be some stiff work
I think
going
it's gonna be
on.
a
Right?
stiff one.
100%.
I mean, that was just.
I originally said before we got on air or before we did the recording, whatever we want to call it. I did originally say that I thought either the first 10 minutes or the entire match were going to be them legitimately just beating the shit out of each other. Like, I think they'll be professional enough to make it look like wrestling, but I think we're going to see a lot of stiff shots, and I think we will end up with an injury at the end of this match. I think someone's going to get injured because of the heat that is built up to this match, unless corporate has done its job.
You mean the
and
real
have
heat?
told their wrestlers, if you guys fucking hurt each other on air, there will be repercussions coming to you.
There
Yeah.
will not be repercussions for Charlotte Flair. Sorry, go ahead.
And
I think they're both professional enough that
Yeah.
that won't happen. I don't think it'll happen. I think,
I
they'll be
think
fine.
honestly, I think Tiffany is more of the professional in this scenario because after seeing the shoots and after hearing that Tiffany rolled out of the ring to kind of
Avoid.
diffuse the situation, not let it build more after the mic drop woo, it's like you really you see the professionalism coming out of a young talent there, and you worry about the mind space that Charlotte's in. And again, that's why I think it kind of leads into my conspiracy theory because this girl's gone fucking full loco on us. Like, she's lost it. I think Charlotte has lost it in the sense of whether they're purposely having the crowd boo, because we know that WWE has that capability to plant certain audience clusters and, start a boo that everybody else will follow because you know how the crowds work with fucking mob mentality. But if you have that much hate already and then, you're kind of building on it purposely, you might see something come of it, but I don't know. I really think this is going to be a rough match, just like the next one we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
which is just going to be, oh God, help us.
Well, before we move on, anything?
I would say, and with that like crowd point, it is Chicago, and they are known to be very, very rowdy. So
This is true.
I think that also played into it. But I agree that, like how we first started, there wasn't much build and there wasn't much heat until they both went off script. And again, it was Charlotte first. We all know it was her fault with the interview the week before, and Tiffy just struck back, and even people backstage were like, "Yeah, Tiffy needed to do that because
Yeah, you got
people
it.
are scared to step up to her."
Yeah,
when
people are
Tiffy's like,
defending it too. Like that's what,
Yeah.
that's what,
And now that I'm doing math in my head, actually,
what do you mean,
it's
Matt?
sad.
I don't.
I'm trying to figure out matchups in my head from like before Royal Rumble and before these feuds started. Realistically, though, if you look at it, before all this kind of changed up and we had the Mania matches that are set now, we had Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. If that were a three-way that were set up for Mania, okay, you have those three. Then you have, say, Charlotte challenge Io instead, because you need a matchup for that. And then you have what? Tiffany and Rhea. It just the
I
other
think if we-
options didn't seem to. As much as I hate this one, there weren't many other options for this setup.
I think this one makes sense because I think it's essentially. Hopefully,
Passing of the guard. I think
Yeah.
it
Right,
makes sense.
Agree-
Now.
passing of
yes.
the
I
guard.
think this makes a lot of sense.
That's
this
the
match.
right thing to go.
Mhm.
We know the ego that Charlotte has.
Well,
No,
and that's why
I
I'm
think
worried
she'll
because
do a job. I just think it's personal now, and she doesn't want to.
exactly. And does
Yeah.
she pull the Hogan nepotism? I can do what I want.
Cope.
Bullshit. Like
Doesn't work for me, sister.
yeah, like
Cope.
I don't
Copeland.
think I like 10 minutes before the match. Like I don't think I want to lose this match, guys. Like
Adam
sorry,
Copeland
what?
is the same way
I
now,
don't,
boys.
I don't think she.
AEW.
Dude,
I
her
don't think
father
they'll
would
do
be
it.
so disappointed in her.
I mean,
As one of the greatest heels of all time.
full tinfoil hat on. Worst case scenario, Ric Flair comes out, wins his championship, puts himself over John Cena, says he's the women's champion, and then dies right there. Perfect
He
TV.
walks in the ring, he's gonna die, bro.
He just hits
He
one
hits it, just-
elbow.
He's a young up and comer.
yeah, right.
He was
He's
talking
Jay
about
Leno
John
off the
Cena was
Indies.
going to have
What
to
do
go
you
through
mean,
him,
dude?
but maybe we just read it wrong. Maybe he said he was going to go and win another championship, and
He's
he
all
just meant
hopped
the
up on
women's
Woo energy.
championship. Like, who knows?
All
All
right.
right.
Llama, my friend.
Are we going to segue into
We are
Jay
doing-
versus
No,
Gunther?
I want Johnny to start the Jay and Gunther one
Oh,
because I
no.
know he
No, I
hates
don't need to
this
start. No, I
matchup.
started last one. Someone else.
Damn
No,
it.
yeah, Johnny will get
Johnny
into Jay.
hates this matchup as much as I do. It's going to be super kicks and slaps.
Okay. That's I agree with that in a sense. When Jay won the Royal Rumble, I think all of us were kind of like, "Oh, okay." Like, and it's cool that they're giving a guy that, is super over with the fans. Giving him that Rumble win, it's awesome. And I think Jay seems like a really cool dude and all this stuff, but I think from the get-go, when we realized we were getting Jay versus Gunther, I think a lot of us realized, like, dude, I think that Triple H
Whoa.
he really thinks that this storyline is hotter than it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is. You know, they faced each other like 5 or 6 times in the past year, and none of it was exhilarating. It wasn't thrilling. You know, I like Jay for what he is. He's a hype man. You know, he comes out, he gets 20,000 people, you know, chanting, eating what it is. But like Gunther, to me, in the last however, you know, since he's been world heavyweight champion, has just gotten the shit end of the stick. You know, I love Gunther's ability on every facet. You know, we talk about wrestling, we talk about charisma, we talk about this, we talk about that. That Jay and Gunther feud didn't have really any juice until, you know, that we had that segment with Jimmy where Gunther almost fucking killed him on live TV. I mean, that was a great segment.
Yeah.
But I just think, to me, I think this is the toughest to call as to who goes over. I think it really is, because
I think Jay goes
Um,
over.
Yeah.
I think the only
hate
way
it. I
it
hate it,
makes
but that-
sense to me is
you're not gonna say the Rock gets involved, do you?
no. This is the only one that I think Team Corporate is just not fucking available, unless somehow Gunther gets involved. But I don't think that's
Jay is Samoan.
Yeah, well, you never fucking know. But I think realistically, the only way this makes sense is if Gunther loses in an unclean manner. Because I think you have to put Jay over in a Kofi style, where it's like he has to win, just because he's so over with the crowd. I think he's getting his flowers at this point from the WWE, and then he loses very shortly after. Don't care about that.
I actually agree with that.
I think that happens.
How's he
But
lose it though?
I think Ludwig gets involved. I think
No, I mean, how does Jay lose it shortly after? Like,
I don't know, but
We don't know.
I think
they're involved in that.
I don't know, but I think that Ludwig
Braun Breaker.
Ludwig ends up getting involved where he does something with Gunther, and then because that's the only viable interference in my mind. Because I think Jimmy's out. There's no way Jimmy comes back and gets involved after almost dying on national TV. What, a month ago?
Not
They're
even.
Not even
Yeah,
like
they're
2
gonna
weeks
have
ago.
to have him
He
off
might be
air for
dead.
at least a couple of months, and I think realistically that's just a mental health break for him, because I think they made him, you know, go back with Jay to make him, you know, a household name again, so that he didn't lose all his steam when he was gone. But I definitely think that he's going to be gone for a while, and I think the only way Gunther losing unclean is if Ludwig somehow gets pissed at Gunther, comes back and is like, "Excuse me, sir," and just, like, fucking gets involved somehow. I don't fucking know. Like, it just, outside of that, I get Jay winning clean, maybe, because you
I
want to
think
put
he's
Jay
going over
over.
clean, to be honest with you.
But again, what's that going to be? 19
Super
super kick,
kick.
dude. We're gonna
Yeah.
see him super
I-
kick fucking Gunther 100 times.
I
Like,
honestly think he'll surprise us because there are some matches where he's just like with Roman back then, like that they were stealing the show when nobody was in the crowd.
Paul,
And
dude,
I get like
you got that optimism thing going on.
I do, but that's why I guess we wanted to push it to today. But
Okay, Paul, let me ask you a question.
yeah,
Who has more moves, Kevin Nash or Jey Uso?
Jey Uso. You can't tell me Kevin Nash has more.
Bro, I'm
Press
But-
X to tear quad.
as much as I love Gunther, guys, and as much as I know he can do more, realistically, how many moves have we seen Gunther do in the past fucking 6 months?
I mean,
Don't
he
even-
has
don't
won
even go there.
Matches. He's
Don't
won
even go
matches
there.
with different moves each. Like
He's been
but
wrestling the
sometimes-
same guy, Jay, most of the time.
I just feel
Bro,
like
I
just
think
feel like
Gunther
it's-
and Randy 1 and 2 are two of the greatest actual matches with no stipulation to have happened. It's in the 2020s.
100%. But I also
The
think
technical wrestling of that was crazy.
We're
and
not
not to-
accepting any Gunther slander in here.
No, not to take away from
course not.
Gunther, but I also
Nine.
stand firmly behind that anybody who wrestles with Randy Orton is immediately put a tier above what they are originally. Randy Orton elevates everybody he wrestles with. Period. End of story.
Bro, you can't elevate Gunther. He is the best technical wrestler in the company as a man right now. The best.
I'm sorry. What?
that's why you got a
And-
tour bus.
Did
would say-
Randy fucking die?
I don't
Randy's
know.
not the best technical.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. If you're going to say technical, especially because if you're going to say technical, that means the moveset that they can currently use over and over again, their set of moves that you do not know anybody who has a cleaner moveset than the Randy Orton we've been watching since we were fucking 5. You know everything he's going to do. You know it's going to be the cleanest fucking version of everything he does. And you know the RKO is always going to come out of nowhere and be a crazier version of something we've seen before.
A diamond cutter. I, first off, I really do appreciate the enthusiasm and the passion here. I mean, there's a lot of guys.
However,
to
my counter argument.
we're getting off topic here. We're getting off topic.
All
First
right.
of all.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
I think Jay is going over. I think it's that classic underdog storyline. You know, we all know it. We all love it sometimes. But again, my main qualm with the storyline is that Triple H, our good buddy Paul, thought that this storyline was way hotter than it actually is. And don't get me wrong, Jay is super over with the fans, and like I said, I like Jay for what he is. That's his thing. But like this was not one of those, massive, epic babyface, wins at WrestleMania or a Daniel Bryan-esque thing. Right? Like it wasn't that kind of thing. It didn't have that much juice. That's just my opinion. I think that Jay goes over, but for what it is, it's not what our good buddy Hunter thinks it is in his
Kevin
head.
Owens and Randy is a much better, hotter feud than this is in terms of.
I really think that this Jay and Gunther feud did not. It was okay, but I thought it really went like kind of nuclear a couple weeks ago with that Jimmy segment.
And then last
in reality, we've been seeing it for half a year at least, over half a year.
This is their fourth time in a year going up against each other.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm hyped to say what I have to say.
Go ahead.
No.
First off, awful idea of them fighting a Saturday night main event.
Yes,
I
completely agree.
Winning WrestleMania, winning the Royal Rumble, and then picking Gunther makes no sense. You just had the match.
Yeah,
I don't need to see it again. Don't care. He should have went after Cody. That would have been better, in my opinion. Maybe not better. You shouldn't have Jay win it anyway. He could have been part of this fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship for all we care. Still would have got his big crowd yeet when he won the United States Championship again. Didn't need this match. Now that we are having it.
Wait, where did the U.S. title come into this? You mean Intercontinental title?
Yeah, Intercontinental. Sorry.
Okay.
Like he could have been part of that fatal 4-way instead in this, but instead Gunther should squash him. Should beat him.
It's the only way that makes
you're
sense.
speaking like my language, brother. I would love that, but
put him back where he belongs in the mid card.
I really just feel like
it's not a Jay guy. Holy crap!
The opposite of Jimmy's energy before.
But he's not wrong.
Love Jey Uso. This story's awful for him, though.
He's not wrong.
The story just happened at the Saturday night main event. He had his title shot, and then he gets gifted another one.
And not only that,
maybe because they didn't realize how over he actually was. Maybe that week up to Royal Rumble, they just made a change to him. No idea.
Jay was planned for a while to win the Rumble,
but I just
Cena winning was just too obvious.
No, that makes no sense. Why they think, okay, let's just test out this match 6 days later, where we're trying to get hype for our Saturday night main event coming back. You just test around the match. If they did that, okay, fine. But it wasn't like for me.
It's also weird for me to see the guy. I mean, let's be honest here. That match last year, Jimmy and Jay, was horrid.
That
it
was just
awful.
more on them. Like
horrible.
Right. And it's just weird to see Jay kind of get like rewarded with a Rumble win where he had like the worst singular performance.
To see him after that, like that, obviously that match it could have been 10 times better than what it was.
Their one spear the next night was better than that whole match.
But to see that, to see how Jay, more than Jimmy, but Jimmy's coming up now, to see Jay recover from that and just get more over with the fans. You saw the Fireflies in Paris, just the whole crowd embraced him after that. And they're like, oh yeah, that could have been better, but like we understand where you're coming from. And to see a guy who was second fiddle for over 3 years to Roman, to blossom into this like main event star is really nice to see. Again, the build really kicked off 2 weeks ago, and then you saw it this week. Like Jay's not playing around. Like didn't come out yeeting with the whole crowd. He wore black, had the glass, just had the yeet on the glasses, and that's it. And he just basically talked down to Gunther pretty much.
Is
I
this
like.
on Raw? Is this happening tonight now? The follow up?
I don't know. There's only a couple things I saw confirmed for Raw tonight, like Karrion Kross versus AJ. Somebody pushed Karrion Kross already. Jesus Christ. We got
who is AJ wrestling at Mania?
Logan.
Logan.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself with this.
You want me to make it worse for you?
It.
You want me to make it worse for you?
Match.
Oh, Logan's gonna win, you mean?
Logan's going over.
Oh,
I don't-
100%. It's gonna be
I don't know.
which 40-year-old wrestler puts over Logan again. I'm
Right.
over it.
Logan's going over on that.
I'm over it.
We got a scenery change for Johnny.
Yeah, I'm eating too.
It's it's actually crazy though, because he's doing exactly what his brother's doing, except they're just open that these are staged. He's
I
just beating the piss out of older dudes.
Yeah, I just stand firmly behind the fact that I think that this Jey Uso win is just basically going to be a rip-off Samoan Kofi Mania. And I understand it, deserves
I'm not
it.
upset.
I think he's fully. It's the same thing with
I
Kofi.
would
He was
be.
over with the fans. He's loved. He's worked his way to this point where he's done the work. He does deserve a world title shot. And it's like you couldn't have given him the win over Gunther before, but now
Triple H
maybe
is
you
not
give him the
scumbag.
Kofi
He's not gonna
Mania
have
moment.
Gunther
Bro, I'm
bullshit.
sorry, but he had the chance literally like 6 days before the Rumble.
I do think Jay wins, of course.
And he's not
I think
better.
Jay goes over.
He's not better than he was a week prior. You know what I mean? Like
But
he doesn't
again-
deserve it more 6 days later because he lost.
I like
it
Jay,
last
dude.
week.
I like Jay for what he is, and he's a hype man and all this stuff. But
Yeah,
like,
so do I.
I think he goes over. I do think he's gonna go over.
I think he
And-
has to win.
Or maybe that happens where maybe he gets choked out,
Yeah,
or
we
maybe
thought
he
he
gets
Gunther, John
pinned,
Cena.
and then Gunther walks out, and then he's crying in the ring, and then the fans just, start cheering him on. He still does the yeet, and he just walks out. Maybe it's a heartbreaking over moment for Jay, because if you can lose at Mania and still be over with the fans in a moment like that, I think that says more than winning and being over.
Is this the earns Gunther's respect match then?
Yeah,
Is that-
maybe that. Maybe he fights so hard that it's almost like and I hate to compare it to this because it's the greatest Mania match of all time, but almost like an Undertaker Shawn Michaels match.
It's crazy. Okay.
But like,
You're
think
an
about it though. Like where he gets his ass beat to the point where it's Gunther's like, stay down. Like I don't want to hurt you anymore. And then finally he pins him, and then he earns Gunther's respect. And it's just like, maybe Gunther is better than me.
Okay, I got what you're saying when you compared it to Undertaker and Shawn Michaels in that sense.
Yeah, where
I thought you were gonna
it's
say this
broke.
match is gonna be like that, and I was
No,
gonna
not
slap
in this.
you
No, not in
digitally.
this sense of like how the wrestling
Right.
was done. Where I'm saying is
Okay.
in the ability
Crazy
of
work.
where
I
Shawn
get what you're
Michaels
saying.
literally sitting there holding on to the Undertaker, like, bitch.
Also,
And then like Undertaker fucking tombstones him. Like, I think that's what Gunther's gonna end up doing, but staying to give Jay his flowers. And maybe we get a funny Gunther moment where Gunther yeets.
no.
Yeet, yeah.
Yeet. That would be fucking funny, but don't think it'll happen. But
Okay.
again, one of those moments, it would make sense. Where
So-
it's
If
a
my
him-
ring general yeets, somebody's dying.
So I'm getting the sense that me and Llama both feel like this match is predictable. Jay goes over, but we're pissed it's the fourth
agree.
time they're doing this.
Yeah, if you get rid of that Saturday night main event, then yeah, it makes more sense. But even then, like at this point, it is what it is.
So what do you think about it? Like in the sense of like what happens? Who do you think's gonna win? And if you think it's gonna be Jay, what do you think happens?
I think so. I think Jay wins, and I agree with what Johnny said before. Like maybe they set up Braun because I don't. If Braun leaves with the IC title, that's awesome. But I don't think he's
Didn't
gonna
they
win
actually
it.
use Jay before for the IC title or something?
Yeah,
For-
and then he
Yeah, they
lost
lost
it. Then he
to-
lost it to Braun like a week.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
later.
So okay.
So it makes the story is there, like somewhat.
But
But
you think it's gonna be a quick turnaround?
It might be. He probably gets like a good month or two until
Or
like
transition
SummerSlam,
title.
maybe. Yeah, like even to Backlash, something like that. Just gets his WrestleMania moment, and then
Since
Fair.
it's
loses it.
technically connected to this, can we kind of lean in and kind of ask everybody, depending on who you think's winning, where the fuck do we go after? Like you're saying with
I'm
Braun and
concerned
everything.
about what we do with Gunther if he loses.
Yeah,
That's what
what
I'm
do we?
concerned
That's what I'm
about,
saying.
'cause
Everybody who
he
thinks
should
Jay
be
is
holding a
going over,
title.
what do we do with Gunther
He's
afterwards?
gonna
He
do
should be
that
holding a
Ludwig.
title
He's
or
gonna do that
competing
Ludwig
for a title.
probably feud for a little bit.
But that's why I think Ludwig has to come back at Mania, because unless it's a Raw after Mania thing where it's like, you know,
Yeah.
Gunther's talking about I had a good run, you know, I might have lost, but I'm gonna, you know, try to I'm gonna have my rematch. And then Ludwig comes back and he's like, no, you're not. You're gonna have a match with me. Or like maybe Ludwig stops the rematch and that's how he loses the second time. That would make sense to me. But again, that's like it really needs to happen on Raw after Mania or in Mania itself for it to make sense.
It could be that we get, you know, Jay goes over, and we could get Gunther off TV for a couple months, maybe, because he's, you know, storyline so embarrassed that he lost to
Very
Jey Uso.
active too.
Yeah, like you know, he's embarrassed he lost to Jey Uso, and he comes back 4 or 5 months down the road. Whoever may be champ at this time, you know, beats the shit out of them, comes back for his rematch clause, that kind of thing.
Or even then, he takes the time, and then at the end of the year, he goes to SmackDown and faces Cena for the title.
Yeah, I would love to see Cena versus Gunther.
Exactly.
That would
Like,
be awesome.
That's a match that has to happen in this last run.
And I think that was part of the issue too. Is like the live events with Gunther. Dude is wrestling like it's like Gunther versus CM Punk, Gunther versus like all these guys, and they're putting on like banger matches, and then like the WrestleMania matches like Gunther and Jay, and like, damn, I think everybody would have wanted to see like Gunther versus Cena or Gunther versus Punk or whoever it may be. Like,
All right, so I'll only defend that point with the fact of, again, if you're a corporate entity like the WWE is, as much as you would love to put your big talents against each other, like CM Punk and Gunther, et cetera, then you wouldn't have a place for Mania like Jay
No,
and
you're
like
right.
all these. You know what I mean? Like it would be an
Yeah, no, I got
empty
you.
match. Like what were you gonna have Jay versus Logan?
I thought you were going into the
Maybe.
corporate thing again with that.
No, not the corporate thing with that. No, it's like this. It to me, it like Jay versus Logan would have been the only other viable option, and even that shit. And it's like you need to kind of have some quote unquote shit title matches. But again, this might be a Jay build. Like we said, we've only seen super kicks. Maybe Jay comes out and shows he has more than super kicks. Maybe Jay starts doing some more Samoan shit that we haven't seen him do since he was a tag team title with his bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he starts doing more high fly shit. Maybe he
This
starts
match
doing
is getting
like
too much talked about for little bits missed. I don't care about. I just don't care about it that much.
We can move on. I'm kind of sick of it too because I
also,
don't like the match.
before we load into the final segment. And this part will probably get cut because it's honestly, unless we get a good take, I don't think it's going to be relevant enough. Since we're talking about where we go with storylines and everything.
My finger is on the mute button. Go ahead.
What the fuck happened to the Wyatt Six?
Oh, okay.
Bo
I
got
don't
injured.
know. I don't know. I don't know what,
Bo got
what the hell's
injured, you
going
said,
on.
Bo got injured, and he's just coming back. So they're
Okay.
probably going to
right.
for
Okay.
after Mania.
So we think they're gonna come back for after Mania and kind of do a story with that.
Yeah,
Do
what
we
about
think
what
it
about
involves-
Alexa Bliss?
Do we
I
think
think
it
she's gonna
involves
join.
Alexa?
Yeah, she was supposed to do that.
She's got to join.
Yeah, she was going to join, and then Bo got injured, and then
So
everything got put on the
So-
back burner.
do we think the downfall of the Judgment Day occurs? And if so, who do we think the Wyatt Six is going to pose themselves to like kind of go after? Because in my opinion, it has to be a group with females and males. If you're going to have Alexa Bliss, you need at least one female. And if you're going to have males like the rest of the group, you're going to have some sort of mixed tag team kind of thing going on
So
there.
you know about the 4-way that's happening, right? With Damian Priest.
Yes.
And not Dom Priest.
With Dom,
Penta,
and-
Braun, Dom,
Penta, Braun,
and
that
Dom.
one. I'm
Correct,
sorry,
correct.
yes.
That's got to be the implosion of the Judgment
Somebody
Day,
was
no?
saying that's the Judgment Day breakup match. Like that's
Yeah.
right there. Finn is obviously the odd one out. He's going to be the one that ends up leaving. I think JD's gonna go with him when JD's back.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be the Judgment Day would remain as Dominic, Liv, Carlito possibly. Carlito's
Yeah.
kind of a stooge though, so like he needs.
Do we
They need
think
somebody else.
Do
They
we
need
think
somebody else.
Finn sticks? All right, so hear me out. So Finn's leaving. Do we think Carrion gets involved with either of them? Like, does Carrion kind of take
Yes, I
control
hope.
of
He
Dom
could, and Aleister Black is coming back too.
and
so-
Alistair Black?
And
Like, do we think one
Is
of
that
these
confirmed
gets
to
in?
main
Same
roster though?
exact thing. It's a Judgment
Yeah,
Day.
I think so.
Alistair's going to
Well,
main
Well,
roster.
win.
No
yes,
shot.
yes and no, Johnny, because you have to think about it. We've had Dom and the rest of the Judgment Day be such like lackadaisical, kind of laid back of a group that if somebody like Aleister Black or Karrion Kross took over, they'd be more serious. They'd be more kind of Dom would have to be less of a
Like
ha ha
when they
ha
had
funny.
Priest.
Exactly. It would need to be more focused, and it would bring Dom back to like, yes, he's leaned into the funny ha ha ha, but I think he is a good wrestler, and I think he needs a good push as like, stop focusing on him being the ha ha talent and show him what he can do. Like watching him and Penta was a good fucking match.
Yeah.
It was a really good
And,
luchador versus
Well, they both know
luchador-esque
lucha
match.
style.
And
like-
Yeah.
that's why I loved it. Like, sorry,
I
Johnny,
think.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Tom.
I'm gonna sing Penta. I'm gonna sing Penta. Penta.
Penta.
I think between Penta and Dom, I think those are my two choices to win it.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the
Yeah.
only way it makes sense to me, right? I think Penta has to win. I think Penta almost officially has to win because he is the running talent and he's so over with the crowd. It feels
Mhm.
like he really is the next, and I don't want to say it, but he is the next Rey Mysterio, it feels like right now. Like he not only builds on his character as a luchador, but he's a main talent luchador.
Well, they needed another luchador to get over because all their
There are
entire
like so many
fucking
luchadors that they don't even
they
utilize.
all nobody
Yeah.
gives a
LWO.
fuck about any of them. No, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, they all because none
Dragon
of them.
Lee is so good.
But not yes, Dragon Lee's great, but none of them had like
They're-
like Axiom. He wears the mask,
Bro,
barely talks.
They're
It's like
forcing that. They're really trying to force that Rey Mysterio rub on Dragon Lee, and it's just not hidden. Like people
Working.
don't. Yeah, people don't care.
but that's why I think Penta
I
works
like
because
luchadors. They're sick. I
Yeah.
grew up on Rey Mysterio, and I was fascinated. I'm not a big guy, so that was always my fucking.
but I
so-
think Penta works for that reason because he builds on the crowd like Ray did.
Mhm.
Ray wasn't a quiet luchador like most of these other guys, where it's like, you get the great wrestling, but what do you really hear from them on the mic? At least Penta, like, yes, he's a luchador. He does have, an accent and it's a little broken English every now and then, but it's like he talks to the crowd. He builds with the crowd. He has the ability to communicate and build a character. Unlike some of these other luchadors who have come in, like I mentioned Axiom before. Like, have we even heard that guy talk?
Yeah.
He
Like,
talks.
and what
He
does he
talks on
say?
NXT.
Because is it anything interesting?
It's him
Like-
and it's just mostly him and Nathan Frazier fighting backstage.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like stupid
Fraxium
shit. It's
going
like,
at it.
Yeah.
so it's like that to
Axiom was
me.
fine.
that to
Fraxium is
me-
fine.
But it's like, yes, you can build funny content out of that. But like,
Yeah.
Penta is what I feel like the next generation's Rey Mysterio, where it's like we're finally seeing a serious luchador get main talent recognition, and he has such a repertoire where it's like he can fight guys that are also high flyers, but he can also fight some of these big guys and make it where it's interesting kind of thing. So
I agree with you on everything besides one point.
what?
The next generation's Jesus Christ. The next generation's Rey Mysterio. Dude, Penta's like 41, isn't
Yeah.
he? Like,
Oh, is
he's
he old as
40.
shit?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
old,
bro.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Like, you're
I
only
mean,
gonna get.
Well,
like,
okay, maybe you
probably-
get. All right, so a
I get what you're saying.
condensed version
He
of Ray,
has-
where it's like,
Penta has much more charisma and much more ability to connect with fans than a lot of these luchadors, and that's not taking away from their ability in the ring. It's some of the most incredible shit you'll ever see in your life.
yes, 100%.
But I mean, we've heard the LWO talk and this and that, and so it's just like with anything. Some guys got it, other guys don't.
Literally,
Penta
no
seems
one's
to have
favorite
it.
wrestler is Santos Escobar. Literally, not a
Yeah.
soul.
Yep.
And
It's so
Soul
good, too.
Baller. See, dude, they're all incredible.
They're
in
all
ring.
incredible.
Unbelievable.
It's
Like,
just the way their characters were built. They were never built correctly as people. I say Mike talent. Like, I feel like Penta came in with the cero miedo, and then Penta, what is Cero Mierda? And it's like they ask him, and it's like you build on that, and then it's like you get this such a serious character, but also he's so, like you said, he's so
He's
seasoned.
humanized though. They
He's
can
human.
resonate
Yes,
with him.
yes,
Like,
humanized. That's what I was looking
Right.
for.
Yeah.
100%.
and it's not just that. There is something about Penta that he's got it, and
Yeah, he
and
came
he's
in with
yes.
so
he's
much
even
aura.
got it a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit more
yes.
than Ray Phoenix.
He's
You know?
got that star
Because
power.
like you saw him in AEW, you knew he was good. He
Yeah,
just wasn't
and
used.
I always
That's why
felt
him and
like
Phoenix wanted out.
well, I always feel like he was also always just a slightly more over than Phoenix as well. Like
Yeah.
he's just got something.
So
that
since this is like a great building topic that might actually make it into the pod right now, can I also mention that I think that he was the hear me out on this.
some
I
Kanye
think
shit. Here we go.
no, I think he was the perfect timing introduction. And when I
1,000%.
say that, because I think of guys like Shinsuke who got such a good introduction, but the timing of his intro and story wise, like with the WWE, he got his title shot, but he never really fit in the main story.
You talking
Penta,
about the return? Or you talking about the debut?
the debut.
He's talking
Um,
about original OG
Okay,
Nakamura.
I got
So
you.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't feel like he ever fit in the. I feel like Penta, as he was introduced, set this intercontinental title like setup was so perfect for him, and there was a place for him to like kind of make it to Mania already, and it's like he's had the perfect path. Unlike a lot of these wrestlers that we've seen who get introduced, and it's like, oh, I have to work myself through who like 4 or 5 guys who are vying for a title already. Penta, on the other hand, was so hyped and like was able to fit in this fatal 4-way that might have been a triple threat. And it was like, oh, Penta has so much build. Fuck it. Throw him in. You know what I mean? Like,
Penta's transition has been into WWE has been seamless.
one
I
of the
think-
cleanest I've ever seen
Yeah.
from a superstar.
And
100%.
I'm just gonna say this. That is in large part due to the abilities of Chad Gable in the debut match.
Yes. Yes.
Agreed. Yes. 100%.
100%.
Yes.
Also, no Gable on WrestleMania. This is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's true. Yeah, we don't have Chad Gable on WrestleMania yet.
That stinks.
Crazy.
All right. So now, real quick too, before we move on to like the sauce here.
The
right?
final part.
Hold on, hold on. I gotta thank our sponsor.
My rock band
My
microphone.
Rock Band microphone from 2011. Rock Band, if you want to sponsor us, I don't even know if you're still a thing. You can.
dude, I think emulators and shit have ruined them.
Yeah, there's
Um,
Clone Hero. You guys want to
Clone
sponsor?
Hero.
exactly. Real quick, I want everybody. We're just gonna go around the horn and pick a winner. We're not gonna go too crazy into it because not that I don't care, but I also don't care.
I probably don't care.
L.A. Knight and Jacob Fatu.
Jacob.
That's at Mania, right?
I
Yeah.
want LA to win, but I know
Jacob's
Jacob's
gonna
going to
win.
go over because it's like his time. But like,
Jacob via murder.
I feel like we're going to officially see the burying of LA Knight, and it's sad because
I don't
hope
think he's gonna be buried. I just think
I don't think they're
Jacob
gonna.
is
I think
too hot
I
right now
think
to.
they punished him for something with the Shinsuke thing, and I think he's
Yes.
back. I think he's back. I think he's good.
you
Yeah.
Oh,
think.
Dude, I would love to see LA win Money in the Bank this year.
Did you guys see the clip of
100%.
Logan Paul when Shinsuke was still the champ? He walks up to LA Knight at like a backstage event or whatever, and he's just like, "Yo, so you lost the title?" And he goes, "Yeah," and he's like, "I lost it too once," and they just stand there awkwardly.
I saw that one.
Well, all right. I'm just going to build on this real quick one more time. Again, this goes into where do we go afterwards, though? Like, where, like, LA Knight, what? He's going to win Money in the Bank, and then, but then what happens in the main line story? Like, you got to think, if he's going to win Money in the Bank, who are we back seating to let him go for a title?
It's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Anybody.
Like, we're going to have Cena, Rollins, Punk. We're going to have all these big names.
Jay's about to be champion, so we can have anybody be champion.
It's like but we have so many big
Johnny
names.
really does not like Jay, dude.
Jay,
I love
I
Jay,
told you,
but-
Johnny does
I
not
love
want Jay to
Jay.
win.
But if Jimmy's saying who are we gonna have champion, we're about to have Jay be champion. You're gonna have Cena be the other champion. Like you can
Yeah, but
You
it's
can
like,
make
who
it
is
work.
LA Knight? LA Knight's gonna win the Money in the Bank to lose to Cena.
No,
Dude,
they have the
his,
brand split too.
This is
No,
why.
if he
This is
cashes
why
in, he's
we
gonna win.
as fans we let the stories develop. We see what is. I mean, I'm all for. Who knows what the payoff is going to be Saturday and Sunday. We could be sitting here going, "Holy
forget
fuck,
that.
this
I'm
is
impatient.
I know, but we could be sitting here, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe they just did
Bro,
that." That's one of
Yeah.
the most
I
things I've
have
ever seen.
finished the first season of an anime and then picked up the manga and read the whole thing because I'm not waiting for season 2. I've done that on
I get
several
it.
occasions.
I get it.
So,
I get it.
you know,
We do have one last topic to get to,
yes,
and
we
it's
do.
involving John Anthony Felix Cena and Cody.
Is that real?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's his
That's his
real
actual
name.
name.
Yeah,
I
Anthony
really hope
Felix
you
Cena.
have that up on a monitor or written
No,
down
no, I
somewhere.
remembered because it's so absurd. I know it.
Unfortunately,
That's a shoot name, brother.
I'm gonna have to mute you for this final segment.
What? I mean, I don't know what Cody's middle name is.
Garrett.
Garrett, classic Cody Garrett Runnels.
Yep.
Runnels Rhodes.
Runnels
Rhodes,
Rhodes.
Runnels. Yeah,
So-
Runnels. But
What do we
Alright.
think happens?
So let's hold on. Let's start out because we have to talk about some of this build up first. How do we feel about the way the heel turn happened with The Rock and the fucking
the way the
nonsense?
heel turn happened, I think was awesome. I
Yeah.
think it was great. I think the build after has been lackluster to say the least. I mean, Cena came out, for
Broke up
2
with
weeks,
us.
broke up with us, whatever. And there were some things where that happened. One thing that happened
You
where
guys know Tony was crying, right, when Cena broke up with them
oh yeah,
or broke up with
Yeah,
her.
100%.
but there was we were all hoping for this big there's going to be the Hollywood Cena and he's going to dress in all black. It's going to be jeans. He's going to be bald. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. And when he came out to the same thing, a lot of people were upset because it was the same thing. And then he explained to us, like, we get nothing. We don't deserve anything. So we're like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, I do get that in a sense. But I also think there's that other side of the coin where 2 weeks in a row, Cena came out and cut the same exact promo, essentially.
But
It wasn't
one
really-
one week Cody lost and 1 week Cody won.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next week where they both went on, a verbal assault on each other, that was really the best build-up
Mhm.
or the best segment so far. It's been okay.
I do want to add something when you're done, but go ahead.
It's been okay. I think we're all excited for that match in a sense where it's John freaking Cena versus
Mhm,
Cody
absolutely.
freaking Rhodes.
Mhm.
Like it's gonna be that. But I mean the build up to it, to say it's been lackluster is I don't think so far fetched. I think a lot of people would agree.
So
It's been not fun.
my part of my issue is that this was initiated with, the I guess you could call it an implication, but the Cena siding with The Rock. He's choosing to side with The Rock in turn. However, the entire story makes logical sense without The Rock ever coming back into it ever again.
Mhm.
They mentioned him one time and it didn't even have anything to do with the actual like storyline of it since it happened. So my issue is that this is going to it's just going to feel every time The Rock is involved, man, it just feels like this shoehorned fuck you to us, like I don't know, man.
But isn't that kind of the point? He's a heel right now.
It's
is
not.
cool.
I guess for me, it's more of like I'd rather not see you. It's not that I don't like you.
Okay.
But I'd rather
Mhm.
not see you.
So
Does Brandy agree? Was that Brandy or
it was
Nacho?
not Brandy. I
Yeah, that was
am
Nacho.
going to lean into my tinfoil hat theory again.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
there it is. There it is.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. Let me turn on. I got to turn on my lights in this room first.
So-
For this.
I don't know if he actually wants me to wait or not.
No, I had to turn on my lights. I was getting kind of.
All right, so
getting kinda dark.
not only do we have Team Corporate, right, but he also has and I know hear me out when let me get through this before you tell me I'm wrong. He also went and trademarked the Nation. And I know the Nation of Domination is, a older thing. Agree with that. But hear me out. I don't think Cena has done a full heel turn. I am still on the weird team that thinks that Cena is trying to do what he's doing, quote unquote, to save Cody's soul in the sense
stupid.
of preventing Cody from having the fans hate him,
I think you're on an island all to yourself, my friend.
and that's fine. But I realistically think that Cena in the end is going to do a turn on The Rock. And the only reason I say that is because while I think Team Corporate is a thing, I also think the Nation is going to be their own separate little version with
Well,
Rocky's family and the Samoans and everything. And I think
here's
they're
the
going to
thing,
start.
though, Jim. It's Cena's final run. He has to finish as a face anyway. So that's going to happen at some point, regardless of whether it's corporate Rock and the Nation and that. Like, at some point, he's going to, whether independent of The Rock or not, turn face again and finish out this run.
And again, maybe I'm being premature in it and again, when I mentioned the Nation, I think that when I keep saying that, I think that Cena's going to get pushed out for the family of The Rock. Like maybe Roman again gets involved. Maybe Jacob and all of them are involved. They all are going to start holding championships. And I think Cena might at one point in time lose his while still being a part of Team Corporate. And that's what will be the selling point of Cena coming back to the people, where it's like, I sold my soul, I lost my championship, and now I have nothing.
I've lost my way.
Where it's like, maybe I have to go back to being the Cena that was. And it's like, I just don't see how, in my mind, how they do that while making us happy that Cena's Cena, and Cena still did the heel turn, and Cena did, I don't see a happy ending in the end of this with Cena's final run being Cena's final run. I just don't see a good outcome with Cody and Cena. I know that maybe The Rock doesn't get involved directly, but I think someone's going to get involved to make sure that Cena wins. We're clearly going to have the title on Cena. It's going to be a sour, I won my championship. And again, maybe he wins another championship down the line.
Does Cody go back for it? What happens with that?
Exactly. And it's like, where does Cody go for it? Does Cody try a rematch?
Is Cody going to be the one to get it back from Cena? Is Cody?
I think Cody is the one to get it back from Cena.
He's going to become a 2-time champ just like that.
But do we think that happens immediately? Do we think Cody pulls a quote-unquote Gunther and goes on
Cody's going to have to go on a whole journey
SummerSlam
like last year.
Or what's in October?
I think it's later than SummerSlam.
I think it's going to be that December pay-per-view.
That Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view in December.
Because it can't be the December one because we need time for him to be a good guy again to retire with the love.
But wait, to touch on what Ball said, he just said he's going to go on a journey again. How many times are we going to watch the same journey happen where Cody loses at Mania and then Cody goes on a soul-seeking journey and then Cody comes back and Cody's the winner? It's like,
many times as they put it on TV.
But is this going to be the same repeat story? Like Cena,
you're going to watch.
We've watched it every time.
Look, I know we went through the Super Cena saga, but it's like at least with Cena we saw some different stuff. It's like there wasn't just the I lost, I have to build up, I've won. It's like there was more to it. There was more hate. There was the Edge story. There was the Randy story. There was so much more to it than what I feel like we're getting right now. It just feels like. It feels like Rock's breaking the fourth wall to talk to Cody, and Cody's yelling at Cena in turn, and it feels weird.
To be honest with you, I really do think it's going to be that Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view, and I think they're gonna at the end of it, Cody's going to win. They're going to embrace. Cena's going to shake hands, and that's going to be it. And Cena retires on top, even if he doesn't have a couple months as a face kind of thing.
You know what I can see? Hear me out on this one. I'm so serious.
On this day, you see clearly?
No, I'm so serious. Hear me out on this. If it isn't Ruthless Aggression, John Cena's going to say something to the effect of what makes you I've already beaten you. What makes you think you can win this back? And Cody Rhodes is going to look him dead in the eyes and go, Ruthless Aggression, and fucking hit him. I swear.
I could see that.
That would be cool.
That'd be so sick.
But we have to go through that retirement tour
Yeah.
over the summer into the fall with
Mhm.
Randy.
think-
I
Punk,
also hate
or-
to be the guy that says ruthless aggression has to be Randy Orton versus John Cena.
I think that's going to be SummerSlam.
I
You have to. It's a
really,
two-night
as
event. You have
opposed
to
to
build it.
Backlash in St. Louis.
but if you
Yeah.
think
Oh, that's a good point.
ruthless aggression, it's Cena and fucking Randy. It's like that was them.
I think that I don't. It is them. I think that they define that era, but at
That's
the
what
end of the day, I think it's
But like you just said, they define. That's the selling
do.
point that I think they lean into is you're getting the championship match that defined the ruthless aggression era,
Yeah.
and this will be a no extreme rules, no count out, no pinfalls count anywhere kind of. This is going to be one of those Randy Orton versus Cena.
Bro, that might retire
Bangers.
Randy too. The fuck?
What?
Said that might retire Randy too.
Well, but that's the point. That would be the fucking going out point for Randy. And
I
like,
get what
Randy
he's
just signed
saying.
like a
It's wishful thinking.
Randy
though.
signed like a 5-year deal a year ago.
Yeah,
well,
it's
Randy's built
wishful
like a
thinking.
fucking brick shit house. He's gonna be in the
insane.
fucking
Shane
He's
looking,
taking
bro.
care of his body extremely.
yeah. He's gonna be he'll
Much
be
better
fine.
than
He
he
eats his
has.
bananas and shit.
But I think too, like, if I had to make a prediction, you have like I think they're gonna do Randy versus Cena at Backlash. Backlash is in St. Louis,
Fair enough.
Randy's hometown. I mean, at the moving forward, Cena versus Punk makes sense at Money in the Bank.
Mhm.
Before
Yeah.
we lean too far into the Cena retirement run, do we think The Rock's getting involved at any time soon? I just
don't
want to
know.
leave like
Just a-
keep in the
Maybe at
WrestleMania
Mania
mindset.
for like
If
at the
he
end to
doesn't
give him
show up,
a new title, but that's probably it.
is Cena and Cody's been on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he doesn't show up tonight or next week,
He's
no.
not showing up at all.
Yeah, if he doesn't show up tonight or next week, he's not getting involved until the next
SummerSlam,
Yeah, till
or
SummerSlam,
something.
probably.
Yeah, where he
the next
finally
big
becomes
4
yeah.
pay per view. Yeah,
Mhm.
if he's not on Mania or the Raw after Mania, there's no way he's just gonna.
I'm kind of
randomly be-
over it at that point because at that point in time it just feels like
because
he's
the
just,
story works without him. That's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah,
That's the
exactly. It's like
problem.
what did Cena sell his soul for? He didn't
even
do
acknowledge that yet.
anything. Like, and that's where I think he has to be at Mania, where it's like there has to be a actual selling of the soul moment where it's like Cena has officially sold his soul to The Rock because
I
right now he
think-
owes him nothing.
I don't think the WWE would miss out on advertising that The Rock is going to be at Mania.
Yes. Johnny, where do
Good
you
point.
where do you think the selling of the soul moment comes, or do you think it happened already?
Me too.
I
The
don't.
Rock's involvement in this is stupid.
It's
The
stale.
Rock's involvement in this is stupid.
Yeah, it's very stale.
What's going to be
but
the
I-
one? What's going to be the
I
one?
personally
He did
think
the
The Rock
he counted
always
the
has a
3, then he
caveat
did
in.
the 2. What's going to be 1? Randy? Ah, fuck. It's Randy.
But
Cody's going to win
No.
it back off Cena later in the year, and then he's going to take Randy under his wing, The Rock, and he's going to have Randy go for it as corporate Randy and that's going to be
there's
your
so
Cody,
many theories
that's
with
going
this,
to be
man.
your Cody Randy. And now I'm not going to watch wrestling for the rest of the year. Thank you.
All right.
There's so many theories with this corporate thing. I mean, there's so many theories floating around. Randy, fucking whoever it may be, Punk. I don't know. I mean, there's so much bullshit flying around. We said that we were just talking about how I think it's going to be Backlash, him and Randy, and then Money in the Bank is going to be him and Punk, and then where does SummerSlam leave us? What does Cena do at SummerSlam? Because like I said, I still think I'm sticking to my guns, and I think Cody takes that title back from him at the end of the year at that Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view.
Do we at any point ever think we'd get like a corporate Roman kind of thing where Roman finally sells his soul to The Rock to try to get another title shot, and then he turns on The Rock, and that's why we get Rock versus Roman at Mania finally? It's
Maybe.
the only thing I can think of.
Let's
Kind of.
also remember.
But we did 3.5 years. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
We did 3.5 years of Roman dictating whatever he wanted to do and being the tribal
Sure do.
chief. And
But that's what I'm
showing up
saying.
once
It
in a
makes
while, and
But it
Right.
makes sense to have it happen now because it's like you've done what you wanted for so long, and look where it's gotten you now.
The beauty
Now
of this
you have to bow the knee, and
the beauty of this
listen to me.
is that the next time we congregate, I guess for lack of a better word,
wow,
We'll have a lot more answers.
we are going.
have
It's
a-
not
we
going to
will
be
have-
until it's not going to be until after the two
Yeah.
follow-up shows, the
it'll
Raw
be
and
after tonight's
SmackDown.
Raw, after Friday SmackDown, and after WrestleMania.
Mhm.
So it'll be a post Mania show and a pre
Should
Raw
we
after Mania.
should we wait until after Raw after Mania?
I'd say after
do it.
SmackDown.
I would say SmackDown after Mania. Honestly,
We can converse about that through text. Let's do a wrap up because I want to shower before Raw starts.
yeah.
I didn't
It's
realize
been
it
an
was
hour and a half,
7:45.
gentlemen.
It was a good hour and a half.
Lana,
Yeah.
do you want to sign us off, my friend?
So that was the first Pinfall Perspectives podcast with 5 distinguished gentlemen
Damn right.
on their journey to discover wrestling nirvana. That was what a promo.
It's Chris Benoit. We
Wrestling
found it.
Nirvana.
Yeah, there it is.
In the next week or so, we are going to be on Instagram. We're going to be on TikTok,
I get
whatever it may
Instagram.
be. Right now, we'll drop the. I'm sure we'll drop the YouTube link. It's going to drop on YouTube within the next 48 hours, I would think.
I will do
So,
my best to get that happen.
Thank you for whoever joined us. If there's nobody that joined us, go fuck yourself. How about that? And that's where I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
Stay classy, San Diego.